It's actually at the stage where it is problematic if you are involved anything in the WNBA to not hate Caitlin Clark. They were like, in the NBA, if you were...
In a moment, the Indiana Fever were laughing in practice, bonding like sisters. The next moment, everything shattered. Out of nowhere, the bomb dropped. Caitlin Clark suspended. And before the WNBA could even take a breath, 2 more names hit the floor like broken glass. Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, both walking out, leaving the Fever, leaving the league. The trio, done. But the reason, nobody saw coming. Before we jump into this insane storyline, make sure to like, subscribe, and buckle up, because this might be the most emotional Fever story ever told. It all started on a quiet morning in Indianapolis. A single email. Caitlin Clark suspended for 1 game. No details. No explanation. No warning. Coaches were stunned. Players froze. Fans went silent. And Sophie Cunningham? She didn't flinch. She slammed her locker shut and whispered, "If she's gone, I'm gone." Lexi heard her and without a second of hesitation said the same.
This is what happens when you're next to Caitlin Clark. You get access to things that you normally wouldn't get access to. And I think that's obvious for everybody to see. When you're next to Caitlin Clark, it's gonna, instead of people looking at it like she's dimming everybody else, like she's turning up the lights on everybody else and making everybody else shine brighter. Sophie Cunningham is a prime example. What nobody really like. People say, oh, she's a beautiful blonde, blah, blah, blah. She looked the same way last year. What nobody really checking for? You get her next to Caitlin Clark. Now she's on Good Morning America. Now she got Arby's deals. Now she's everywhere.
Then I'm not staying either. Nobody realized how deep their bond truly was. Nobody understood how tightly these 3 had connected since training camp. But today, the entire league found out. It started with the little things. Caitlin cracking jokes during warm-ups. Lexi showing up with snacks for every team flight. Sophie stepping in to defend Caitlin during a brutal practice. Golf trips. Viral photos. Late-night talks about pressure, fame, and the constant noise. A trio no one predicted, but one that became unbreakable. They weren't just teammates. They weren't just coworkers. They were family. So when Caitlin got suspended, it didn't feel like a punishment. It felt like an attack. And families? They don't let one of their own stand alone. Inside the Fever front office, chaos erupted. If Caitlin leaves, the franchise collapses financially. If Sophie leaves, they lose a leader and a shooter. If Lexi leaves, the chemistry shatters instantly. This trio wasn't just popular. They were the culture. Losing them? A disaster waiting to explode. Phones rang nonstop. Emergency meetings lit up the building. Coaches begged for answers, and nobody had any.
Side of your game and come into this game and for her to do the same on your side?
Yeah, well, I remember last year when we were here, I was talking to Nelly about her shoes because obviously like in the basketball world, like you don't like, you wear the team uniform, like it's your shoes that are the cool thing. So I was like asking her about her shoes and she was like, oh yeah, like these are kind of basic. And then it's been cool to kind of watch over the course of the last year. She got to put in a lot of time to create her own PE and very unique to her and what she's passionate about in herself. And obviously somebody that's very, very deserving, and it's been a top of the sport for a long time now. So I've played a few rounds with her even outside of here for some other stuff. And it's really fun to get to watch her do her thing up close. Like, talk about making it look easy. Like it just is so easy for her, but at the same time, like she's just a good person. Like she's chill, she has fun with you out on the course. But yeah, her shoes are pretty cool. I'll make sure they get home safely and I'm gonna be rocking them.
But the 3 stars had already made their decision. It became the moment fans would replay forever. Sophie quietly packing her bag, Lexi folding Caitlin's hoodie and placing it gently beside her, and Caitlin staring at her shoes with tears she could barely hold back. There was no yelling and no dramatic explosion, just heartbreak. Sophie finally broke the silence, saying, "If they suspend you, they suspend us all." Lexi stepped forward and added, "We're not letting you walk out alone." Caitlin shook her head and whispered, "You don't have to do this." But Sophie only replied, "We already decided." And Lexi managed a weak smile as she said, "We leave together." Within minutes, the news spread like wildfire. 3 stars gone. Commentators panicked live on TV, fans flooded social media with confusion and outrage, and the entire basketball world demanded answers. People were shouting, "What is happening? Is the WNBA finished? This can't be real." The league scrambled for solutions, calling agents, releasing rushed statements, and trying every form of damage control. But it was too late. This wasn't a scandal. It wasn't drama. It was a revolution. Behind the scenes, a new opportunity had emerged. Project B, a mysterious and powerful league offering multi-million-dollar deals, no salary caps, no politics, no suspensions over controversial plays, and no media pressure, just pure basketball. Rumors say Project B made one offer that changed everything. We'll take all three of you together. Sophie raised an eyebrow. Lexi froze and Caitlin whispered, "Together?" The answer came back instantly. Yes, together. And for a trio that refused to abandon each other, the proposal was dangerously tempting. Meanwhile, fans were anything but calm. They were furious. Why suspend Caitlin? Why push away Sophie? Why frustrate Lexi? Crowds gathered outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse chanting, "Bring them back! Fix this now! We want our three." Inside, the Fever staff understood the truth. This wasn't just a roster issue or a PR problem. This was the emotional collapse of the entire franchise.
Remember, you just lose these players straight up. You don't get anything back for the players. They're gone. We didn't get anything for Temi, did we? No, exactly. Let's take a look at the list that I've concocted. Number 1, you gotta court Caitlin Clark. The General. Last year, she averaged 16.5 points per game over a 13-game period, 8.8 assists per game, 5 rebounds per game, 1.6 steals per game. She is the franchise. She is the captain. She is the leader. She is the soul. She is the sun of this solar system. And everything needs to be built around her, predicated around her. The pieces need to be put in place this year, unlike last year, to get the most out of Caitlin Clark's abilities. That means when free agency hits, you don't sign 36, 37, 35, 34. You don't sign.
In a quiet room, the trio sat together, hands intertwined. Eyes red, hearts heavy. Caitlin finally whispered, "I don't want to leave, Lexi, but we can't stay if they treat us like this." Sophie took a slow, steady breath before answering, "Then we stand together. One decision, one voice." The room fell silent as all three nodded, knowing the choice they were about to make would change everything. They stepped into the tunnel, Sophie on the left, Lexi on the right, Caitlin in the middle. As they emerged, fans screamed. Reporters rushed forward, and cameras exploded with flashes like a thunderstorm. But the trio didn't stop. They didn't answer questions. They didn't look back. They walked forward into an unknown future, but they walked it side by side. 3 stars, 1 bond, 1 exit, and the WNBA was thrown into absolute chaos.
Insane. I was with my coach and I literally had no words, but after soaking in, I really appreciated the opportunity that Caitlin and Annika have really given me in Cambridge. But even now, like, I still need to relish this, and I think I need to soak it in. So if you can ask me 3 days later, maybe I'll tell you.
Tom?
Hey, Caitlin, Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post. You appeared as though on your tee shot at 10 was kind of a relief after a couple of